Floyd Mayweather's quite anticipated rematch with John Gotti on Saturday could have guaranteed energy, yet for some it missed the mark as fans filled the field CDMX in Mexico City. They expected to see the unbelievable Mayweather convey an expert class. Anyway, what they saw was a lot more slow-paced match where Mayweather, while in control, looked not even close to his heyday, and Gotti tossed scarcely any punches. Yet the greatest shock of the night came behind the stage when, as a matter of fact, Canelo Alvarez ventured forward to praise his previous opponent. Corner Floyd Mayweather, now in his late 40s, entered the ring watching recognizably flabby throughout the long term. His build had relaxed, and in spite of keeping an undefeated record, it was obvious to numerous that Father Time had fired. Finding him, his once flawless molding had given way to a more slow, heavier rendition of himself. Anyway, regardless of the progressions in his actual structure, Mayweather's boxing level of intelligence and sharp senses stayed as successful as could be expected from the initial time. It became clear that this wouldn't be a serious session. Gotti, who had changed from MMA to boxing, appeared to be no counterpart for Mayweather's unrivaled specialized abilities. Mayweather, with his brand name shoulder roll protection and smooth counterpunching, controlled the whole speed of the battle, leaving Gotti battling to find openings. And it wasn't some time before fans started to see that Gotti wasn't tossing punches by any means. As the rounds went on, the battle turned out to be to a lesser extent a challenge, and all the more a feature of Mayweather's capacity to play with his rival. Gotti, who had boasted before the battle, appeared to be reluctant to connect with while he continued moving around the ring. His result was near non-existent. Many fans watching the compensation per view whined that Gotti's refusal to toss punches made the battle unquestionably uneven and at last exhausting. "This isn't what we paid for," one fan said on Twitter, further expanding the expressions of numerous other people who felt the battle missing the mark on genuine activity. Gotti didn't actually attempt to battle. The best he did was have conversations with Floyd. Mid-battle, Mayweather was simply making a cursory effort. Notwithstanding Gotti's absence of offense, Mayweather kept on landing punches voluntarily. His footwork, however more slow than thriving, was as yet a class above Gotti's. He sidestepped anything restricted offense. Gotti endeavored effortlessly and peppered him with pokes and snares. Plainly, Mayweather might have finished the battle any time, yet maybe for diversion, he permitted the session to go the full 8 rounds. When the last chime rang, the group's dissatisfaction had arrived at its pinnacle. Assuming that you watched the battle, you could, as of now, begin hearing some booing. The occasion, which had guaranteed firecrackers, finished absent a lot of show. Many fans, especially the individuals who had paid for the compensation per view, voiced their disappointment. Virtual entertainment was overwhelmed with grumblings, with some calling it one of Mayweather's most disappointing exhibitions, another of Floyd's trick battles. Why even bother with having a rematch to a presentation battle? He ought to have gotten back in the ring with Canelo again, one displeased watcher posted, and we should be straightforward, this was the sort of thing we can all concur with. Rather than Floyd pursuing the child of a crim ruler, he ought to have conflicted with Canelo for the subsequent time, and not us. Even those specialists in the game have frequently said that this has forever been Floyd's methodology. His 50-0 record, however much he gloats about it, has forever been tested that he picked the simpler battles, while Mayweather was proclaimed the informal victor against Gotti, having obviously overwhelmed the battle. The outcome did practically nothing to suppress the failure. Some guessed that Mayweather, who had fabricated a standing on being a guarded virtuoso, could have gone excessively far in drifting through this session, zeroing in more on not getting hit than giving a thrilling show, which again was not energizing by any stretch of the imagination. As fans voiced their disappointments, the genuine astonishment of the night happened behind the stage. In post-battle talks, Mayweather got a startling guest. Canelo Alvarez, the Mexican hotshot, now one of boxing's greatest draws, had been Mayweather's adversary a long time back in 2013. The battle had been an uneven, illicit relationship with Mayweather, conveying an expert class to hand Canelo his most memorable expert misfortune. Yet, regardless of their set of experiences, there appeared to be no ill will between the two bosses. Canelo, dressed pointedly in a suit, moved toward Mayweather behind the stage with a conscious gesture. Evidently, despite the fact that however, Floyd didn't perform at his best, Canelo suspected something and, surprisingly, praised him. "You did what you generally do," Canelo said, keeping his word short. "Yet certified you controlled the battle very much like in those days. Congratulations." It was a brief yet strong second. Two of boxing's most prominent contenders, once foes, currently standing together in common regard. Canelo's appearance, however unforeseen, added a layer of interest to an in any case need group. Occasion notwithstanding the mistake felt by fans, Canelo's motion was a proof of Mayweather's persevering through inheritance and the regard he orders even from those he has crushed in the past. Certain individuals say that he's equivalent to Mayweather. Think before Mayweather went head-to-head Gotti in the ring. He was in Mexico, getting ready for his next large test against John Gotti. The roads were loaded up with fervor. You could feel the energy in the air. Mayweather, the undefeated champion at 50, was prepared to demonstrate his abilities and by this time his readiness took him south of the line into the core of Mexico City. It appeared to be smart at first. Preparation in a country with such a rich boxing history anyway. Mexico, likewise, is the country of quite possibly of his greatest opponent, Canelo Alvarez. Floyd had arranged an open exercise meeting. Swarms accumulated to watch, inquisitive, to perceive how the maturing legend would look in front of his battle with Gotti. Yet things didn't go as flawlessly as Mayweather could have trusted as he started dealing with the cushions with his mentor, Jim Thomas. The group didn't appear to be all that dazzled, as opposed to cheering. They started yelling Canelo Alvarez's name. It was a reasonable demonstration of help for their local legend, and an unpretentious poke at Mayweather for the people who followed Mayweather's vocation. It was a sad amazement he was utilized to something like this. Yet in Mexico City, the serenades of Canelo were stronger, more energetic. It wasn't simply a sign of his competition with Alvarez. It seemed like the whole nation was telling him where their dedication lay. As the opportunity filled the rec center, Mayweather didn't allow it to lose him. He remained on track, landing fresh punches on the cushions, his timing sharp, notwithstanding being 47 years of age. He realized the group was behind Canelo, yet that won't prevent him from preparing hard and planning for his next retaliate. When Canelo battled Floyd, he was a youthful, hungry 23-year-old rising star, while Mayweather was a 36-year-old veteran, previously established as truly outstanding. Notwithstanding the age distinction, Mayweather gave Canelo an enclosing illustration, ruling him a battle that many accepted would be a lot nearer. Mayweather's protective dominance was a lot for Canelo, who battled to land anything significant. The battle finished with Mayweather winning by greater part choice, an outcome some even thought ought to have been consistent in the years since that battle. Canelo has developed into a superstar with a record of February 2, 61. He set up a good foundation for himself as the substance of present-day boxing, a pound-for-pound ruler who's vanquished numerous weight divisions. Yet that misfortune to Mayweather actually waits in the personalities of many fans, particularly the people who support Canelo. And when Mayweather appeared in Mexico to prepare, they won't allow him to forget about it. As Mayweather proceeded with his pad work, the remarks segment of Battle Publicity Television, which was streaming the meeting, began to illuminate. Mayweather actually had his devoted devotees, and they rushed to safeguard him. One fan remarked they hollering Canelo as he didn't give a thumping to him was a straightforward yet solid update that Mayweather had previously crushed Canelo regardless of how much the group needed to help their person. One more fan ringed in, bringing up Mayweather's age when he battled Canelo. They are shouting Canelo and May possessed him at the youthful age of 36. The remark read, "It's actual genuine." Mayweather wasn't precisely thriving when he confronted the youthful Mexican star, yet he actually outmatched him. The remarks continued, moving in with one fan reviewing exactly how prevailing Mayweather was in their battle. All the yelling Canelo, yet he didn't have anything on Floyd. WTF, it was a fair point. While Canelo has turned into a vastly improved contender from that point forward, at the time he was unable to contact Mayweather. And afterward, obviously, there were the speculative matchups. Mayweather fans love to envision what it would resemble on the off chance that their person could battle a portion of the present top warriors. One fan proposed Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Bud would be wonderful, yet Floyd Mayweather Jr. would need it as a show battle. However, it's a fascinating thought. Terrence Crawford, known as Bud, is perhaps of the best welterweight in this present reality. A battle among him and Mayweather would have been something uniquely great, yet at this stage in his vocation, Mayweather is more centered around display sessions, battles that aren't as significant, yet draw large groups and bunches of consideration. Another remark moved the concentration to Mayweather's late uncle Roger Mayweather, who had been a colossal effect on his profession. Roger Mayweather Floyd is preparing another age of cushion laborers. It read, Floyd's bond with his uncle Roger was notable, and his passing in 2020 was a major misfortune. Now Mayweather was working with Jim Thomas, passing on the information and abilities he had mastered throughout the long term.